Okay, in this video, we're going to discuss the worksheet that explores bond portfolios, their yield to maturity, and in the end, ultimately, their portfolio modified duration, so that we can explore the riskiness of portfolios, the rates of returns, and maybe some strategies for investing in portfolios. So let's start this out with talking about an investment. So let's say we have $10,000 that we have invested in some bonds, and let's assume just for kicks that we put 40% in TAP here, and we put 60% in Disney. And it really doesn't. You can have up to 5 choices of bonds with which to put these in. So let's say that Molson Coors is selling for $1,085. It has 25 years to maturity, and let's say that it has a coupon of 4.50. And let's say that Disney has a price of $9.85. It has a maturity of 35 years, and that the coupon here has, let's say it's 7.6% is its coupon. So with this particular portfolio, we only have 2 portfolios, right? We'll buy 4 bonds that are in Coors and 6 that are in Disney. So what does that do for our portfolio? So this portfolio will have an average yield to maturity of about 4.6%. The duration is 28.5, and the modified duration is 27.586. Convexity 562. I mean, it might be an interesting question as to how the value of this bond portfolio changes when interest rate changes, but I didn't think it was enough we didn't want to muddy up this portfolio any more than what we needed to. So basically, we have some information, right? We know about the riskiness of this portfolio. We understand what duration is all about. So here's a question. What if I said, I need to have roughly, from my bond portfolio in retirement, I'd like to have roughly $30,000 a year of my income in retirement. I want to come from this bond portfolio. So if I plug $30,000 in here, we'll see that if I had a portfolio of $471,698, that would approximately give me $30,000 of income per year. Right now, this bond portfolio is only giving me $636. So if we change this real quick, let's just change this value up here to 471,698. Make this just a wee bit bigger. We'll see now that roughly that's going to give me $30,000 a year. So if I invested that amount of money in these 2 bonds in this proportion, I would be able to get $30,000 in this particular, for this part of my retirement income. So let's go back though and come back to our original question, because one of the things I think it's kind of interesting is to think about immunization, and we want to try to limit the risk that we're going to take, and we'd like to get rid of or eliminate interest rate risk if we could. So we want to create a bond portfolio that has a certain duration, and that duration is going to be equal to our investment horizon. So let's assume that I want to make sure that I have this amount of income. I want to be able to have this income, let's say, for 18 years. So I retire when I'm 67. When I'm 18 years old, I'll be 85. I want this income to last for 18 years, and I want to protect it against interest rate changes. So that means I need a portfolio modified duration of 18. So how can we do that? We go up to the data box and we can use Excel solver function. So the solver function, one of the things here, this is currently protected, and solver won't let us change things unless we unprotect it. So please go out here, unprotect, and now we can go ahead and do our thing. We want to go out here and do data. We want to do a solver. And we want this solver to be equal to 18. We want to change, as we look at this, we want to change the weights here in order to get those equal to 18. So again, we may want to change this so it only goes to E, right? We only want to look at those two portfolios. If you had more, you would include them all in the changing variables. In this case, we don't want to do any short sales. We want to invest in both. If you wanted to permit short sales, again, you would rewrite this equation, but you would make it less than 0, so that it would be then, you would allow negative weights. But again, in the end, the ultimate weight has to add up to 100%. So that would be taken care of. So now all we have to do is take care of, or say solve. So you solve, and it says, oh, it couldn't find us a feasible solution. So there was no way to combine those two things to get to 18. So maybe we need to try another, right? So we'll just try another. Again, those are pretty long durations for those particular securities. Sorry, data, go to solver, right? Oh, let's expand it a little bit. Let's say we want to go to 20 years. That might be a little bit easier. And solve. Oh God, now we have an answer. So now you see it went to 20 years. And it says we're going to put 92% of our money in TAP and 7% of our money in Disney. That's going to give us $472 a year as it's stated, but we're going to have to increase this portfolio to $635,000 in order to get the kind of cash flow we want. So again, there's a lot of questions we can ask. This looks at and addresses interest rates. It addresses interest rate risk, duration. It also incorporates some strategy for investing for cash flows. So it's a pretty useful worksheet. And that's it for this one.